Well, as we watch Hurricane Harvey continue to churn, here to bring us up to speed with the efforts on the ground is Elaine Duke, the acting secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. She just got off the phone with the president this morning. Elaine, thank you so much for joining us. I have to ask you about that conversation. What reinforcements are you getting from Washington?
First and foremost, the president and the vice president and key cabinet members were on the call, most concerned about the people that are suffering from this hurricane. Wanted to express his concerns and inquiries about life and safety issues. Secondly, our response in support of Governor Abbott of Texas.
Do you feel like you're getting what you need from the administration? I realize that it's still very, very early, and right now it's up to local and state officials, but do you feel like that they have your back?
Absolutely. The president's signing of the declaration, major disaster last night, was huge in helping us prepare for this morning and helping Governor Abbott prepare for this morning.
Obviously, the Department of Homeland Security oversees FEMA. We're going to be talking a lot about FEMA over the next couple months and maybe even years. Where are FEMA officials stationed now? Are they inhibited by the fact that the storm is still really hovering over much of that state? And are they also waiting for, requests from state and local officials?
Governor Abbott, through his request for a disaster declaration, that's the official request for FEMA assistance. The FEMA administrator, Brock Long, is currently here at the National Response Center with representatives from the whole of government, and also Region 6 of FEMA is there in Denton, Texas, leading local operations.
I want to ask you a little bit about the resources. We obviously see them behind you, but I'm also curious about the resources on the ground. What is physically taking place right now, and what will physically take place over the next couple months?
Well, a lot of that's dictated by the storm itself. Right now, we're limited by the storm staying in the area, and we're just starting to see a diminishing of winds. So we will be responding as dictated by the safety of the responders. We have Coast Guard air assets stationed there, ready to begin surveillance operations. We have an initial response of some search and rescue operations, but that is dictated by the storm itself.
I know that you were with, if I'm not mistaken, the Department of Homeland Security about 12 years ago when Katrina hit. So I want to ask you, what are you most concerned about when you look at the characteristics of the storm? Obviously, I'm going to assume that you're going to say sustained flooding, but I'm also going to ask you what you learned and what you can bring to the table in this situation.
What I'm most concerned about, you're right, is the flooding, because flooding is a sustained recovery period. We are right now in initial response, but recovery will be long. At the current moment, what we're worried about is people being too optimistic. The storm is still in place. We expect peak of flooding not to be for several days. So people getting too complacent could add to injury of life, and we're really concerned about that. What we learned most was preparedness and working with the state early as soon as we have advanced. And we've had great cooperation between the federal government and the state of Texas and Louisiana also.
All right, Elaine, well, we appreciate you joining us today. I know that you probably had a very long night last night. I know you're probably going to have another one tonight. Our thoughts and prayers are with you and also the victims of this storm, and we appreciate you coming on and giving us the latest. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elizabeth.